I'ma be the best, I'ma beat the rest, I'm the go-to roofer.
Welcome to our complete Google Ads training. How to do your keyword research, how to set up your campaigns, and how to actually put together a complete ad strategy. So let's go ahead and jump in here. We're just going to get right into it. Not a ton of fluff and stuff like that. So let me hit the go button, jump into it. So the first thing we're going to want to do is go into your Google Ads account, click on settings, and then go over to keyword planner. And when we get there, we're going to go ahead and hit discover new keywords, and then change your targeting. You can target by country, you can target by state, you can target even by let's do city. So we'll even get even more specific here. But what I like to do, at least for my research part of it, is kind of just go by county. Wherever the service area that you're trying to reach is, and you want to try and keep it limited to that search area so you're as accurate as possible when it comes to putting these things together at the end. So we're going to grab these two counties in Florida and go ahead and hit save for this particular account. This is a roofing account, so put in some ideas for typical keywords and go ahead and stick your website in there, and then hit get results, and we'll see what comes up. All right, fantastic. So now we've got a bunch of results, and we got to figure out, which one of these is going to be our best bet. So we want to sort everything by average monthly searches, and kind of take a note of how many people are searching for those particular keywords in this area. One other thing to watch is like the year to year change, the competition, and then you have the top of page bid and the low range top of page bid. And those bids are going to tell us what we are actually going to end up bidding in the future. So go ahead and click a keyword, add it to a plan. As you can see, it turns green there. It says in plan saved. And now every other keyword you add to this plan will be all organized in that particular plan. So we're just going to go right down the list here just as fast as possible and get all these good ones here that I think they're going to be the best. Now, when I'm actually, the best way to go about this, when I'm selecting keywords, is I want to get inside the customer's mind, right? So think about my target audience. Think about how they're going to be using these keywords. These are Google ads, so they're going to be using Google. We are assuming that they're pulling out their phone. They are experiencing a problem or something related to my services, and they're going to type something in. So as I do these, I want to be very selective in thinking through, all right, if I'm a homeowner and I'm experiencing, either a repair issue, replacement issue, whatever with my roof, what am I going to be typing in? So for example here, let's see, we've got, well, let's just take this one right here. Let's see, fix a roof. That's probably more like problems. Roof replacement deals. So I guess if we have promotions, we can run roof replacement deals. So if I'm a low-end buyer, not a high-end buyer, I'm going to say, hey, roof replacement deals. I don't have money. I want, to get a roof replacement cheap. So we could select that one if we got something for that. I might select it for now and just, unless we have a specific offer, I won't use it. Let's see, professional roofing surfaces. Yep, that's something I would type in as a homeowner looking for a roof. Done Right Roofing, Done Right Roofing and Construction. That sounds like a company name. Let's see, need a roof repair. Yep. Roof, fix it. Yep. People who are angry, I want that roof fixed now. Roof, fix it. And then we got, let's see, roof damage repair cost. Yep, that's a good one. I want to know how much it's going to cost to repair this roof, and then I can pitch them a quote. Nearby roofing contractors. Possibly. We're going to do it for now, but marketers might get that one too. Certified best roofing. I need my roof replaced. How you can't get any better than that one. That one wasn't selected before. Roofs only. It's like roofsonly.com. Like farmersonly.com, but roofsonly.com. Is this the new trend for roofers? Anyways, I'm not sure I would type in roofs only unless I was just like really upset with I just don't see a situation where me as a homeowner, I'm going to type in roof. Maybe it's like marketers trying to find pictures of just roofs only. I'm not sure why I would type that in as a homeowner, I guess. And there's some competition around. It makes me feel like it's something we shouldn't choose. So, all right, new roof inspection. I'm not so sure about new roof inspection. That sounds like an inspection after the roof is done. Here we go, roof repair inspection, possibly. Roof residential, roofing residential. Roofing residential, not really. Roofing new construction. Now, that could be interesting. New construction, if it could be more of a B2B relationship, I bet. Roofing new construction. And that could also fit a homeowner looking for building a new home. So I think that one would actually be a decent keyword. So we'll do tile roof contractors, we'll do roofing new construction, local roofing services. It's already in the account, but there's not a lot. It's been going down in the last few months, so let's just leave it. Top roofing contractors. Not sure if I want to use that top roofing name. We want to cornerstone more around like buyer activities, right? What are we doing to buy? Certified roofing contractor. Here we go. That's actually, I think that's something I would personally might type into Google, would be to put in, certified roofing contractor near me. That's what I would probably put if I were looking for quality roofing for my own home. So professional roof repair, we'll just keep going through here, and I'll let you guys hang out while I just zip through these. But again, like my key takeaway here is choose lots of keywords, choose a variety of keywords, go through and check that top of bid high range. Try and keep that fairly reasonable. There are going to be some very competitive keywords out there that are going to be $70 to $100, sometimes even higher than that, to bid on. And then go ahead and make sure that you got keywords how you want them. And then save them to a Google Sheet or something so you can work with them later. We're going to go ahead and download this keyword plan and stick it into a spreadsheet. Now you got a spreadsheet with all these keywords that we've selected, and you can see a total of how many people are searching for these words per month in each area. And that's why we got so specific, so we could actually have some numbers here. Now we take those numbers, let's move them around, let's just make this thing a little pretty real quick. That way we can feel organized. All right, let's delete these unnecessary columns. We really just want our average monthly searches, the competition, and the top and low bid. And then that'll give us a good idea of what's going on. Then we're going to stick in another column here and call it ad groups, and go all the way down here and just organize them by type. So try and keep it to 4 to 5 different types. As you can see, we're doing metal, replacement, quality, and just trying to keep them organized as segmented as possible. And then that way we can just build our ad groups off of these segments, and all our keywords will be very relevant to the ads that we create. All right, let's just run through. There's like 240 of these things. So as you can see at the bottom of the sheet, I've already separated out some new tabs into repairs, replacements, storm damage, brand quality. We're going to add one called metal here in a second. But yeah, so we separate them out into those bins, create another sheet here with them, and then we're going to go, let's go back up to the top here and sort the sheet by type, and then let's grab everything of each type and like give it its own color, so that we can easily visually tell the difference between each ad group. And then we'll go through and we'll copy and paste. So let's just take metal here and make that, let's just start from the left, go to the right, and we'll just do that with the rest of these real quick here. Let's copy everything in that first group for metal, and I'm going to stick it in this second sheet. I'm going to call that sheet metal. And now all our metal stuff is under metal. We have a master, we've got a metal. We just do that with all the other keywords we selected. So now that we're done here, we should have a nice little bundle of ad groups. So we got repairs, we got replacements, storm damage, quality near me, And now we're going to go take a look at our planner again and make sure everything checks out according to schedule. All right, so let's go over here to our plan, and on the left side we want to hit organize. We're going to organize these into an ad group. So what we want to do is add an ad group here. We're going to click on the campaign or ad group and just build out the entire thing. So call the campaign what your final campaign is going to be. So, you know, your name, the search, and then year, and usually month or date specific, and then the person who set the ad can up or what it's about. Just very clear naming of your campaigns. And then underneath the ad groups, we're going to go ahead and just label those ad groups. So we had repairs, replacements, we had we had quality near me, we had storm damage, and metal roofing. So that looks good. Let's go ahead and hit save. And now we've got these ad groups here. As you scroll down the page, you can see that each one has its own bucket, and you can go ahead and add those keywords. Those keywords that we planned are over here on the right. So real fast, what we're going to do is just add all these keywords to each of these ad groups. To do that, simply search for the types of keywords, click them. You want to match type phrase match. Everything has to be phrase match or exact match. We don't do broad match. And then make sure you add it to the proper ad group, and just keep doing that till all your keywords are used up. And then double check, make sure that they're all, in their proper buckets, so that we don't have any keywords that are hanging out on their own. So let's just hang out for a second and get that done. It takes a minute. All right, now that we're done with that, let's go ahead and download those just to have them saved. I just like to do that after every step, so I've got a copy. And then we're going to add some negative keywords here. So hit the negative keywords on the left. We're going to go drop them into our tracker sheet here. Let's see, we've got quite a few good ones back and forth here. Yeah, so a lot of the stuff that has to do with like opportunities, careers, advice, tutorials, college education, lawyers, professions that have nothing to do with it, we're going to add those as negative keywords. And we can do that, hit negative keywords here, go ahead and hit the, right over here, there we go. And then once all your negative keywords are in, we can go ahead and look at the projections for this campaign. So we go to projections, forecast, that's what we use. We put all this in here, and then wait a second here and it'll populate based on all the information that we put in. So maximize conversions. Remember, we got to target the right area, so let's go ahead and redo this. Let's go ahead and target our counties. So we got our specific counties in here. All right, now it can calculate exactly what we're looking at. So we're looking at 10 conversions for $900 at $30 average a day budget. So if we want 10 conversions, we're going to spend $900. Cost per action is going to be about $90 a piece. We'll have about 190 clicks. Almost the entire impressions of remember the group was only like 4,800. So we're only missing 1,000 people out of the entire 2 counties. But if we come up here and adjust the budget, we'll get a little graph here, and we can find out where kind of the sweet spot is, like how much we're willing to spend versus how many conversions we're going to get. And we can kind of play around with that and see what we like. The budget for this particular campaign is going to be around $3,000, so let's just stick it right at $3,000 here and see how that does. All right, that's pretty good. So we got 17 conversions, a cost per action of $180, cost per acquisition. So that's pretty awesome. That's still below like 200, which is profitable for most businesses in the roofing industry. If we spend a whole heck of a lot more, we'll be spending $260 a piece to get it. So, and that's because of the high competition. So if we find this little sweet spot here where we're bidding less than 200, let's see, probably around 8, 17, 18. Yeah, 17 17, 18, right around there is going to be our sweet spot. Our cost per click should be about $8. People freak out because they see like $8, $9, $10 a click. Guys, if the cost per acquisition is higher and you're actually getting the conversions, then we're willing to spend more on the click. You know, I'm willing to spend $8 on the click because I know that I'm going to get it. So let's cover proper Google ad campaign structure before we jump into it. You want to create a campaign and you want to name it very clearly so you know what it is. And then underneath that, we'll have 3 ad groups. You usually have one that's about your brand or your near me targeting, and then your services in the other groups. Under each group, you're going to have 3 ads minimum. And then each ad group should have its own specific landing pages. Perfect. So that's really simple. Here's how we create a campaign. Go ahead and create a new campaign in Google, and when it asks you what your campaign objectives are, say create without guidance. We don't want Google messing it up. So then hit the search type and then come down here to your conversion goals. If you don't have any set up already, you're going to want to do that. The biggest ones are converted to leads and phone calls because those are the ones that are most important to track results. So then we're going to hit website visits, stick your website URL in there, then go ahead and hit phone call, put your phone call in there, your phone number in there. There we go. And then go down and again, name this campaign exactly the way you wanted it named. And we told you the structure of this is pretty important. So just so that anybody, here's the goal, anybody who gets into this account, whether they work for you or they work for another company or whatever, they should be able to look at the name of your campaign and know what it's about. All right, so our focus is going to be conversions. If this is your first time ever with a Google Ads account, I would suggest clicks and then later switching to conversions. But if it's an already existing account and you have already run the ads, go ahead and put conversions on there. Our target cost per action was 180. Remember that? So then we want to turn off all search and display networks. Make sure those are turned off. We don't want anything out there. And then under locations, people who are regularly in your targeted location. And then again, let's go ahead and make sure our map is all set here. So let's hit the advanced search. Here's our counties. But hey, you know what? We can get even more targeted if we do some pinning. So instead of running the counties, which have hard edges, what I like to do is just get rid of those counties altogether and use these little pins to get more specific with our areas. So this is how we kind of like cover the map. So use a variety of radiuses and try and cover the area nicely. And I don't know why this works better. It just tends to work better. If it doesn't seem to be working for you, you can switch it back to a different kind. All right, let's go down here, leave languages on English, and then you want to add some affinity audiences, some audience segments, and typically you'll get some good suggestions here. So roofing services, general contracting, home improvement. These are going to be observations. We're not going to target these specifically, but leave them on the recommended observation, and Google will kind of decide as your ads go which one of these affinity audiences will work. On your keyword types, always use match types. Do not leave it to broad. You're just going to have better results for a lower cost if you are targeting directly the exact words you want. All right, ad rotation, do not optimize. Make sure that is turned off. It's under more settings, and then also under more settings, let's set an end date. All campaigns should always have an end date, and then we should reset them a day or two before the end date. This tells Google, hey, I'm going to shut my campaign off now. So they're actually going to work to get you the most results they can within that short period, right? And then you're like, oh yeah, I liked it, so let's continue, but I'm not so sure, so I'm going to shut it off again. And then it just repeats. So that's why we put end dates. Ad schedule, try and keep it where when people are awake, but you're going to get a lot of responses late at night. So I like to go to about 11:30. And then leave the rest of it blank. All right, let's set up our actual ad group. We want to edit this name after we hit next. Let's call that repairs, and we're just going to do this 4 different times for each single ad group. So let's start with repairs. Let's grab our keywords. Let's not let Google help create my ad. Let's be smart and plan it ourselves. All right, let's see. So there's the suggestions. Let's grab our actual keywords from our repairs tab here. So I'm just going to highlight all these and let's see, copy. All right, there we go. All right, copy, and we're gonna just flop it in here, and paste it right in there. Perfect. And so now we got all your keywords. And then if we scroll down, we'll see an example of an ad. And you want to make sure that your final URL is your landing page, your channel specific landing page. And then as we scroll down, we want to add as many call outs and extras as possible. So let's add the call extension and just zip that in there real quick. All right, that looks good. Calls from ads. Make sure that number is correct, and then we're good to go. All right, now let's go down to, okay, so when you click on the suggestions here on the right, you should be able to see all the keywords you've added to this. And you see how they're all black? We want them to turn green. And we get them to turn green by using these keywords inside of our ad. So I'm just going to grab my keyword sheet here so I can see it all the time. I'm going to move out of this here for a second. And then we're going to start creating some of these titles. One way that can really help when creating titles, let's see. Sorry, I got to open this tab one more time. Okay, ChatGPT. So I like to say something like this: hey, let's create some awesome headlines for effective Google ads, following best practices, blah 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 blah. Here's my list of keywords. Create 20 unique headlines that are no longer than 30 characters. And just let it go to work, and don't always copy exactly what ChatGPT gives you, but this gives you a really good starting point. If you need to refine it, sometimes you can refine it a little bit here, like try again, don't position us as like cheap or free or low dollar, right? Try and build the value into the key segments. Sometimes you gotta educate ChatGPT a little bit on this, so let's try this. But what this does here is now I've got 40 different headlines that I can use to just kind of get my ideas flowing, right? And then we get it really specific. I like to sometimes pin the actual roofing company or the brand name in the third position, and we test that back and forth in different ad sets. But let's just go ahead and create some really unique titles here and see what that does to our popular keywords and our ad strength. I'll go up here and check our keywords. All right, you see some of them are actually turning green now, so we're getting some actual good targeting in there, and so we'll have to keep reworking these. And we'll keep reworking these till we can get them as mostly covered as possible. All right, let's jump back over here. All right, take away these pins for now, and let's just go. All right, what does it cost to repair? Cost. It may take some workshopping. You only have 30 characters to work with. You do want to make sure that all your headlines are title case. That means that the first letter of the word is a capital letter. That's just very good practice, helps people read it easier. And if you've ever been in advertising or marketing, you know that that's a standard. It just helps people convert more. Don't know why, it just does. All right, let's see. Wow, looks like we've got a mostly green now. There's maybe some few minor tweaks we can make on this as we duplicate and improve on this ad in the future, but we've got an excellent ad score. But these descriptions got to go. So in our descriptions, we want to reflect a lot of what this particular ad is talking about, and we want to make it unique to in this case, repair. So we can also use ChatGPT to help us do this because we only have 90 characters here. And this can be a really good way, again, to just jog your brain or give you something you can just copy and paste. Here we go. Trusted roof repair, quality service near you. Yeah, let's just grab a couple of these and throw them in there, and then we'll just take some time and workshop them a little bit so it doesn't sound fake or whatever. So professional roof repair experts ready to serve you. Ready to serve. Yeah, quality repairs, fair rates. I like the fair rates language. No, that's not going to fit in there. We don't want free quotes. Yeah, that looks good to me. We're reading ad strength excellent. Let's go ahead and check everything else. Like I said, we want to add as many extensions as possible. So let's get this business name in here real quick. Some business names aren't eligible. You got to make sure that you've been approved. But yeah, let's stick that in there. Same thing with business logo. Make sure it's the proper sizing and you've got pre-approval on it. But that helps with conversions. And then site links. So site links are links to your website that you can build yourself here in your Google Ads. So just name the name of the page, give it a good description that makes sense, that isn't too redundant, and then link that to your actual service page. And these are the links that you see below the ad that allow people to not just click on your ad to your landing page, but if they're more interested in other stuff, they'll go to your website and maybe you can retarget them later, or maybe they'll convert. So we'll just, again, utilize ChatGPT or just our own brains to come up with some good descriptions here. We'll fill out all these site links, make sure that they're all good to go. Yep, that's looking great. All right, we'll stick that in there. Okay, now let's go to callouts. So callouts is where you finally get to brag about your business. Dude, what is the reason why people should work with you? Right? So licensed, bonded, insured, financing available. It's good to stick an offer or two in here, lifetime warranties, all that kind of stuff. This is the section you should put it. Don't put it in your actual ad copy. Put it here. That's what it's meant for. Okay, that looks all good. That's usually what I would recommend starting off with. And what we do for our clients. And then let's go ahead and take a screenshot of these. I like to just keep records of that, so I'll take multiple screenshots of some different ad sets. All right, let's go ahead and hit done. And now we've got an overview of this particular ad group. You can see all our repair keywords are here. And then we've got our single ad here. We'll duplicate them later. We're unable to duplicate them now, but we'll go ahead and hit next. We'll set a budget. Remember, our budget for this entire campaign was what? $100? $100. That's right. So this is the entire campaign. So we want to spend a daily budget of $100. We'll get leads for $180. And then let's just double check all our metrics here before we launch anything. Want to make sure that we double check it all. So search network is, we got to turn the search network off. And then everything looks good. So let's go ahead and publish this after you've done a good review. And then this is what it'll look like. You'll have a quick review time, and then you'll start earning impressions, and then you'll see your conversions coming up. If we click on, let's see, our ad group, you see there is our repair. All right, so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna duplicate that same process. We're gonna create ad groups for every single service that is on that sheet. So here we are. We're just going to whip through it really fast, try and get excellent on all of our ads. It is a time-consuming process, but it is a process that shouldn't take more than half a day to do right. And when it's done, you will be a lot happier with your Google ads, I promise you. So let's go through here, and there's metal. Here's our quality near me. So this is our near me stuff. Replacements. Here we go. So as you can see, it's just a lot of headline work. It's a lot of reworking and making things fit until you get it there. All right. So now once we have a full set here, we're going to take their ads and we're going to copy them, and then we're going to then paste them. And when we copy and paste, so I took metal and I copied and pasted. We'll choose our campaign. We'll choose the ad group it's supposed to go in. And then once we go there, we'll hit done. And then if ad already exists in destination, create a duplicate and pause ads after pasting. And then we'll do that. And what that'll do is duplicate our metal ad in our metal ad group and pause it for us so we can edit. And what we're going to do now is we're going to do that for all three of those. Again, just copy the ad, choose the campaign, hit the right ad group, and then now we can create all 12 of our ads very quickly all at once, and then just go in and tweak them. So if we do a good job on setting up our ad group and setting up that first ad inside that group, then this process should be very easy. So yeah, we'll whip through that real quick here and get that done. All right. Oops, I missed an ad group here, so we're just going to go ahead and go back and add that ad group back in. So yeah, it's easy to just pick up at any point of the process, but you want to make sure it's all 100% where you know, there we go, just like that. All right, so when you're done, you should have all 4 of these ad groups. And then if we go over and we click on ads, you'll see that each ad group has 3 ads. Now you want to go into each one of those ads and just tweak a few titles. Just maybe pin a title in the 3rd or 2nd position here and there. If you have a specific offer, that's a good thing to do. Add that as a headline, then pin it in the 3rd spot. But these are looking good. Everything should be excellent or good. You should at least have 1 ad from each ad set with excellent status before launching. And then we can go back into our forecast, select this campaign, and it gives us more accurate data. So before it was saying we were going to get 17 now for 180. Now it says we're going to get 16 for 190. And now it has all the data. This is going to be the most accurate look at it. So we're going to be spending $9 CPC and 190 cost per acquisition. Then you can kind of look at what those averages are going to be, at least based on Google's projections. So that's it. That is how we create a Google Ads campaign from front to back, from the planning to implementing the right structure to building it all out so that it looks how it's supposed to look.
Up upon that rooftop, nail it down. Another bundle from the ground. Can you hear the sound of that brap, brap, brap? That's a rapper tap, tap. I'm a working hardy fool when I'm out with the crew. I'm a marketing master, not a hole in the plaster. I'm a go-to roofer, the go-to roofer, cause I know the tricks to automate the wins. Better bring a subwoofer, I'm a go-to roofer. I'ma be the best, I'ma beat the rest. I'm the go-to roofer, the go-to roofer. I'm a hometown fool with a hometown crew. I'm a go-to roofer, the go-to roofer. Hammer to the steel early in the morning, giving curb appeal. It's a 5-star warrant. I get it done, even on a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday. I don't stop until it's done. I'll be working while I'm young, running Facebook ads, making TikToks on the run. I'm the go-to roofer, the go-to roofer. I'm a go-to roofer, the go-to roofer, son. I'ma be the best, I'ma beat the rest. I'm the go-to roofer, the go-to roofer. I'm a hometown fool with a hometown crew. I'm a go-to roofer, the go-to roofer. Hail damage insurance, commercial repairs, residential on the roof. I'm the one who really cares. When I care, I come through. Ain't no messing around with my marketing on point. Got my whole hometown. I'm the best dang roofer. See, cause I know roofs. Got a guy named Sam who can show you the proof. Got a guy named Sam that can show you the proof.